Today I'm going to show you how to add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators by finding a common denominator and then changing the two fractions into equivalent fractions so that we can add or subtract them. What if the problem read 1/2? Oh, that's not writing. How about this? 1/2, there we go, plus 2/5. First thing I would do is rewrite these vertically, like this. 1/2 plus 2/5. Now we know we cannot add them like this because the denominators are not alike. So we need to think of a denominator that we could change both of these, that we could use to change both of these fractions. So instead of doing a whole big ratio table for the numerator and denominator for both fractions, that's a lot of work, a lot of writing. Instead, I'm just going to skip count using the denominators to try and find a new denominator. So let's start with the 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and skip count by 5. 5, 10. That looks kind of like a 16. It's a 10. So I'm stopping because I noticed that I now have 10 on both of these lists. See, right here and right here. So that means I can use 10 as a common denominator to add these two fractions. So I'm going to write down a new fraction over here, at least the beginnings of one. That's going to be some tenths. And that's going to be some tenths. 1/2 is going to become some tenths, and 2/5 is going to become some tenths. The problem is right now I don't know exactly how many. But I do know that 2 times 5 equals 10. So if I'm going to multiply the denominator times 5, I also have to multiply the numerator times 5. That way we're multiplying the fraction by 1, which will result in the same amount. So 1 times 5 is 5. 1/2 is equal to 5 tenths. And that makes sense if you think about it, because 5 is half of 10. Now, down here with the second fraction, I know that 5 times 2 is 10. So I'm going to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. 2 times 2 is 4. 2/5 is equivalent to 4 tenths. Before I move on, notice that 1/2 I multiply by 5/5 to get 5 tenths. Notice over here in my skip counting, I counted by 2 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how you can know how many times to multiply it by. We counted by 2 5 times. And we counted by 5 2 times. 5, 10. So we multiplied it by 2. So once the denominators are the same, you can simply add the numerator. Accidentally made a mark there. 5 plus 4 is 9. And our denominator stays the same. 9 tenths. So this is how you add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators by using some skip counting to find a common denominator and then adding or subtracting.